Hi there. As you can see, I'm not currently in a classroom. I'm actually in my home office. Now, this isn't the most ideal place to try to make a movie from, but myself and my middle school students actually tried to do that this year. I wanted to take you back on a little journey about how we got here and show you some of the amazing work that my students were able to complete. This is the making of Return to Oz.
Making a movie is a journey in itself that takes years of dedication with a team of talented individuals. Yet Wonder Media brought this process into schools and taught children the inside secrets to making great animated films. This year, they challenged students to write and produce The Return to Oz. This would only be the second feature film produced entirely with children in the history of cinema. But this isn't the only history we would make along the way. A group of 130 middle school students were off to see the wizard, but little did we know the twists and turns that would be in our future as our school embarked on this amazing journey. Here's how it all started. The Wonder Media team wrote an original outline and shared it with schools across the country. Each scene addressed an environmental issue related to climate change and sustainability of our planet. Our middle school teamed up with a local elementary school who had helped produce Wonder Media's film last year, The Wizard of Oz, and they knew the process. Students from Riverview Elementary and Eisenhower Middle School collaborated on 39 scenes for the movie. First, the students had the opportunity to write the script from details in the outline. Students wrote dialogue, action, and sound effects. We realized we needed some additional scenes with middle school characters, so we outlined and wrote those as well. After table reads and revision, we had a finished script written entirely by students. Students then auditioned for each of the 24 speaking parts. These auditions were done remotely, with students practicing their lines at home and submitting a digital sound file for review. After voice actors were chosen, rehearsals began.
Hey, Dorothy, is that near Kansas?
Additional students learned about sound editing so they could help capture the perfect performance. Simultaneously, students used digital software to paint backgrounds for each of their chosen scenes. Some backgrounds were provided by Wonder Media, but some were painstakingly hand-drawn by students to fit the needs of the story. Students also met in teams to make a plan for their animated movements for each scene. They had to review character animations that best told the story and emotions of each character. With all the voice performances and backgrounds complete, students were given the green light to begin compiling their ideas into animated sequences using the Animation Now software. But that's when the unthinkable happened. At home, it took some time to adjust to the new normal of a pandemic, but in no time, students agreed that we could continue our production remotely. This meant that as a teacher, I organized new production teams and created a production schedule. Teams met over Zoom to create scenes using my teacher computer instead of our classroom computer. As the lead, I asked students to come prepared with animations that best fit the scenes. These were previewed on the newly created Return to Oz animation page.
You could download the script, you could read it, you could look at the scenes you were supposed to use, and then you would go over to Wonder Media and you could try out all these moves and you could make them scene really come to life of what you think the moves that fit in there.
I was able to load backgrounds and voice files previously created at school that were saved to the cloud. We spent much of our time collaborating on what these scenes should look like. There were a few files we still needed, and students were still able to complete these at home using Pixlr digital editing and Audacity to make any sound files and songs. Students shared these with me over the cloud using OneDrive and Google Drive. Some students even had high-powered computers at home and were trained to run their own production teams to create scenes, which meant we could be even more efficient. In the end, students were able to continue their learning seamlessly from home.
Making the movie changed when we moved to distant learning because you can't really sit in the back and animate with your team when you're by yourself. I had my scene ready to go and my team came with animations, and then we just took a chunk of the animation and then I just asked, okay, what moves do you guys want here? It's super easy to use and it didn't take very long to make an animation over Zoom at all.
The thing I enjoyed most about making the movie was the sense of community we all had working together. Each of us made a different part of the movie and we all put it together like a huge puzzle.
I found the film extremely enjoyable because I feel like that we're building an even bigger community, and like we're all learning stuff together because we've never done this before. So it's to like learn more about each other and also to help each other.
Students were able to complete almost 1/3 of the scenes for an animated feature film while at home. Movie production will continue next year, whether we are at home, at school, or somewhere in between.
We are changing the world
one animation at a time.
Even a pandemic can't stop a team of dedicated students trying to change the world one animation at a time.
If kids like Dorothy can figure it out, I have faith the rest of them can too.